All right, strap yourselves in because today we're taking a deep dive into the crypto market roller coaster. We've got a fresh market report, a whole stack of news articles just out, and we're going to break down the most important things happening in crypto right now. Major market movements, big acquisitions, even a bit of presidential drama. All of this is going to impact your crypto portfolio, so let's get into it.
Yeah, it's crazy how things happening around the world end up affecting the crypto space. Sometimes it feels like everyone's waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do next.
Totally. It's like Bitcoin is calling the shots for the global economy or something like that. So let's start with a snapshot of the market. Our report says the global crypto market cap is at $3.26 trillion. It's up a little bit, but what really caught my attention was the trading volume, a 157% jump. Now, I'm no expert, but that sounds like a ton of action. What do you think? Is this normal, or are we in for a crazy ride?
Well, that jump in volume definitely tells us there's a lot of activity going on. And it could mean there's some anxiety in the market, too. Think of it this way. When a storm's coming, everyone starts rushing around to get ready. A big surge in volume could mean investors are reacting to something big. Maybe good news, maybe bad news. Right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are still running the show. But even the big players can get shaken up when things get wild.
Speaking of getting shaken up, let's look at the biggest winners and losers we've seen. Onyx Coin, Ondo, and Hyperliquid seem to be doing great. But then you've got Lido, DAO, Filecoin, and even Ethereum Classic taking a hit. Do you have any thoughts on what might be causing these price swings? Are there any patterns we can see here?
It's always interesting to watch how individual coins react to changes in the market. It's hard to say exactly why the price of each one goes up or down, but we can look for connections. Like, are these coins tied to specific parts of the crypto world? Maybe something's been happening with DeFi or NFTs that's affecting some coins more than others. It's kind of like solving a puzzle, connecting the dots between events and how prices move.
I like that. Solving a puzzle. So here's one that threw me for a loop. MicroStrategy, the company with the CEO who's basically obsessed with Bitcoin. Well, they've actually stopped buying Bitcoin for the time being. They usually buy it regularly, so this seems super weird for them, don't you think? What could this mean for the whole market?
Yeah, that's a really good question. MicroStrategy has been such a big supporter of Bitcoin, and all their buying has made other investors feel confident. So when they suddenly stop, people start to wonder what's going on. Maybe they're just changing their plan, taking a break before they start buying again. Or maybe they see something coming, something in the market that's making them hesitant. Whatever the reason, what they do definitely has an impact on the whole crypto world.
It's like they've dropped a secret message and everyone's trying to figure out what it means. Now, let's shift gears and talk about Kraken. They're making big moves in Europe. They just got a MiFID license. For people who don't know, MiFID is a bunch of European rules that control investment firms. This means Kraken can now offer regulated crypto derivatives to traders in the EU. Why is this such a big deal?
Well, regulations can be a pain sometimes in the crypto world, but in this case, it's actually a really good thing for Kraken and for the whole industry. By getting this license, Kraken's showing that they're serious about working within the established financial system. It makes them look more legitimate and could lead to crypto becoming more widely used in Europe. Imagine, you could easily trade crypto derivatives through official channels just like you do with normal assets. That's what we could be looking at here.
Yeah, that would be huge. That would totally change the game. And speaking of changing the game, who knew that former President Trump's tariffs would have any effect on crypto? But guess what they did? Bitcoin dipped, and other coins followed. It's like the crypto world is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next with this whole trade war thing. It just shows you, crypto isn't off on its own somewhere. It's part of everything that's happening in global finance.
Right, it might seem strange at first, but global events like trade wars create a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Investors get nervous and they start pulling back from things that are seen as risky, like cryptocurrencies. It's a chain reaction. One event leads to another, and the effects can be felt everywhere in the financial system. It's kind of like what happened during the financial crisis back in 2008, remember? We saw the same kind of flight to safety patterns then, too. People wanting to put their money in things they thought were safe.
So history might be repeating itself. This is why we need to pay attention to what's happening around the world, not just in crypto, because it all ties together. But on a positive note, there's some good news coming out of the UK.
Oh, that's right. Coinbase just had a big win over there. They got approved by the FCA, the UK's financial regulator, to operate as a registered crypto asset service provider. That's a mouthful. But it's basically official recognition that they can do business there. And this is actually their biggest market outside the US. So it's a pretty big deal for their plans to grow globally.
Well, it definitely seems like Coinbase is playing the long game here. strategically moving into key markets and building trust with regulators as they go. But they're not just sitting around waiting for things to happen. They're making moves.
Hmm.
Like, did you hear about them buying Spindle? It's this on-chain advertising platform that's trying to solve what they call the on-chain discovery problem. I have to admit, I'm not totally clear on what that even means. Can you break it down for us?
Yeah, sure. Imagine you're an amazing artist who's just created a masterpiece, but your studio is hidden away somewhere nobody knows about. How do you get people to see your work? That's basically the on-chain discovery problem. It's hard for developers and projects in crypto to stand out and get noticed. Spindle's technology helps them reach a wider audience through on-chain advertising.
So it's kind of like Spindle is a digital art gallery showcasing all these cool crypto projects. Seems like everybody wins. Developers get more exposure, users find new projects, and Coinbase strengthens its whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And it shows how the crypto industry is always coming up with new and creative solutions to tough problems.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Market swings, regulatory wins, global trade tensions, even blockchain gold. It's a lot to take in. What would you say are the key takeaways for someone who's trying to understand all this? Because it can feel a bit overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The crypto market is constantly changing. There's always something new happening. So many factors are at play.
Global economic trends, regulations, technological advancements, even what people are saying on social media.
Right, it's a lot. The key is to stay informed, do your research, and be ready for things to go up and down. And remember, crypto is still pretty young. We're all still learning and figuring things out as we go.
It's definitely an adventure. And speaking of adventures, Bitcoin seems to have weathered the storm and found its footing. But Ethereum took a bit of a tumble. It actually led the way in a $2.24 billion liquidation wave. Why do you think these two big players in crypto reacted so differently to the pressure in the market?
That's a good observation. And it shows how Bitcoin and Ethereum have different roles in the crypto world. Bitcoin, with its limited supply and its reputation as a store of value, it tends to be more resilient during times of uncertainty. Kind of like digital gold. People turn to it when they're looking for safety and stability. Ethereum, on the other hand, is known for being versatile and for its role in powering things like decentralized finance, DeFi, and NFTs. This makes it more sensitive to short-term changes as developers and users respond to what's happening in these rapidly developing areas.
So Bitcoin is like the steady, reliable grandpa of crypto, while Ethereum is the young, dynamic innovator always pushing the limits. I like that analogy. But what happens when grandpa starts embracing new technology? We saw that UBS, a major Swiss bank, is testing out blockchain technology for trading digital gold. What do you think this means? Could this be a sign of what's to come?
It's definitely interesting to see a big traditional banking institution like UBS exploring blockchain for gold trading shows that even established players are starting to see the potential of this technology. UBS is probably interested in blockchain because of the benefits it offers. Increased transparency, security, and efficiency. Imagine a world where you can trade gold digitally, and all the transactions are recorded securely and permanently on a blockchain. It could completely change how we think about and invest in precious metals.
That's the future I'd be excited to see. But for now, let's come back to the present. We've talked about Coinbase's strategic expansion, Spindle's on-chain advertising solution, and even Bitcoin finding a local bottom amidst all the chaos. What other insights can you share with our listeners as we try to navigate this wild crypto roller coaster? It feels like every day there's a new headline, a new trend, a new coin to watch. How do we even keep up with it all?
It's a lot to keep up with, that's for sure. But I think one of the most important things to remember is that crypto isn't just about the price going up and down. It's about the technology behind it and how it could change the world. We're seeing that with UBS exploring blockchain for gold, right? It's not just about making a quick profit. It's about finding new and better ways to manage assets, to make things more transparent, and to empower people.
That's a really good point. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and the fear of missing out. But we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What are the long-term trends? What problems is blockchain actually solving? How is it changing how we think about finance, technology, even society as a whole?
Exactly. And that brings us back to Coinbase buying Spindle. It's not just about advertising. It's about creating a system that's easier to access and more transparent for both developers and users. Imagine a world where anyone with a great idea can easily start a crypto project and connect with the people they want to reach. That's the kind of future that blockchain and crypto are making possible.
So to sum up this wild ride we've been on today, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say the most important thing is this. The crypto world is constantly changing. It's full of surprises and opportunities. Stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The more you understand about this fascinating space, the better prepared you'll be to handle the ups and downs and make smart decisions.
Well said. And to give our listeners something to think about, we talked about UBS getting involved with blockchain. What if this is just the beginning? What if we see a ton of traditional financial institutions embracing blockchain and crypto solutions? How would that change the future of finance and the role of cryptocurrencies?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something that could change everything. We might see a blending of traditional and decentralized finance, creating both new opportunities and new challenges. It's a future that's both exciting and uncertain, and personally, I can't wait to see what happens next.
And that's the beauty of the crypto world. It always keeps us guessing. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of crypto.